And welcome back to today's Retirees with Certified Financial Planner Wayne Maslyk of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. We've been talking today about some examples of couples who have saved for their retirement. When we left before the break, Wayne, we were talking about the folks that had loaded up their 401s and their 403bs and all of these kinds of things. And when they start drawing that out, it's costing them big time in taxes. It's affecting the tax rates and things on their Social Security, and how much that is. What should have been done differently as they went through that saving period?
That's just one of the factors. The adage is, we'll be in a lower tax bracket when we retire. And that's really false. In a lot of cases, that's not the case. Even with Trump and the new tax cuts, right?
Okay.
So we're in lower brackets now than we were 10 years ago.
Okay.
So, that is right there. But if there's another political party that gets in a couple years, well, they're going to raise taxes. So people working now that are going to retire in the next 5 to 10 years, chances are they're going to be in a higher tax bracket when they retire. So
Sure.
it's false. It depends on really who's in there politically at the time. It depends on when you retire. The other issue is, like, for instance, Obamacare. So if somebody wants to retire prior to Medicare age, we got to keep their income below the thresholds.
Okay.
And if the only place we have to go get it is 401ks, IRAs, that type of thing, we're stuck. That's the only savings these people have. They could have $1 million in a 401k plan, but which is plenty saved for a lot of people, but to go get it, it's going to mess us up with Obamacare. It's going to cause us maybe to bump a tax bracket. It's going to cause us to pay more for, say, a vehicle, right? It takes 40 to get 30. It's going to cause our Social Security in many instances to be taxed. So it's a double taxation when we pull money out. Not good. So yes, we get a tax deduction when we're saving along the way, but later in life, our hands are tied.
Sure.
So I like multiple titled accounts with a family.
Okay.
So husband and wife, they have 401ks. They have IRAs. They have Roth IRAs. They have Roth 401ks. They have joint accounts or individual accounts at a brokerage house, like a Schwab or a Fidelity or TD Ameritrade. A joint account would be yours and your wife's.
Sure. Okay.
Right? An IRA is yours or your wife's.
Okay.
Never been taxed. A Roth IRA is yours or your wife's. Been taxed, but it's after-tax money. Still can't access it till after 59 and a half. And then, of course, a joint account we could get whenever we want. We could put money in today and pull it out next week. And when we pull money out of a joint type non-qualified account, a non-retirement account, all we have to worry about is capital gains, right?
Okay.
If there are any. Sometimes there's capital losses. You can buy a stock, Cedar Fair, it could go from 70 to 50. That's a capital loss. We sell some, we get a tax write-off actually.
Okay.
If it's at a gain, then we have a capital gains tax to worry about. Typically, that's the lowest tax to pay.
Okay.
So we'd rather have a capital gain. If we have a capital gain in a stock and then we have a stock over here that's a capital loss, right? We lost some. We could actually sell a piece of both and pay no tax because the loss offsets. So see all this flexibility?
Working the strategy.
IRA, 401k, Roths, after-tax money.
Okay.
It really gives us flexibility and choices in retirement to grab the income we need, to withdraw when we need it, and have it not just totally kill our taxes at tax time.
Sure. And I, one of the things that stuck in my mind is you said that in order to, like you say, to buy that $30,000 car, and you have to pull 40 out to do it, to pay the taxes, like you say, that increased the price of that car $10,000.
If you're going to pay cash for it, absolutely. And a lot of people like to pay cash. Boats, motorcycles, collector cars, campers, all these things. If you got to go to get the money from an IRA or 401k, you have to pull in excess of the sale price, so you have the federal and state tax withheld.
Wow.
And the net check, what you have left to pay for things, is what matters. Right.
And that goes back to what you have been saying for years on this program, is the strategy, putting together a strategy that fits your family.
Yeah, most people don't think of this stuff. They think, well, hey, they tell me to save in the 401k, my employer matches, and so they do it. And they do it methodically, which is good, and they do it over many years, which is good. But no one ever told them to mix it up a little bit. Don't just do the 401k, do the Roth 401k also.
Okay.
Don't just do an IRA, do a Roth IRA also. And don't just do retirement plans, have an after-tax account somewhere that you don't get the tax write-off, but that money's there, it's liquid, you don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half, we don't have to worry about ordinary income tax, just capital gain, and it really gives us flexibility in retirement.
Wow. This is why I like talking to Wayne on this show, and I'm sure that's why you are watching. The advice, doing this well so that your family isn't hit with all of these extra taxes that could be avoided.
Absolutely.
All of these, I'm going to call them mistakes. Probably not mistakes, but there are ways to minimize the tax
There's
liability.
ways to pay less tax. There's ways to avoid it. We're not evading tax.
Right. Yeah, we're not doing anything like
Yeah. You know the difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance?
One of them you go to jail.
Yeah, about 20 years.
About 20 years, okay. Right, but we want to minimize that, and a good financial strategy. That's why it's so important for you to pick up that phone at 866-626-3990. Make an appointment, go in and sit down with Wayne and his staff, and they'll help you put this all together. You can go to Wayne's website, todaysretirees.com, and on your website, there's all kinds of information. You can sign up for Wayne's newsletter. These programs, you can click on the YouTube channel and watch these segments of these programs so that you can get better informed. But the most important thing you can do is take charge of your financial plan for your life by calling Wayne's office and sitting down with him and setting up a plan. Put a plan together that makes sense. 866-626-3990. We'll be right back.